Hey there, YouTube. This is Mr. Evil Joey, or Evil Joey with TeamEDM, coming to you with a quick video. I always say that. I always say quick video. It's never a quick video. You should stop believing me that it's gonna be a quick video. Anyway, I normally do the Road to Nationals series, and I realize I haven't started on that yet. Couple of reasons. I'm home right now, and surprisingly enough, the internet here is terrible. So in order for me to upload a video here, 5 to 10 minute video here, takes about 4 or 5 hours. So I know for me to upload a video while I'm home, I have to go down to the library, sign on to one of their computers, and then upload it there. So that way it only takes like 2 minutes. So yeah, it becomes a little bit of a hassle. So that's kind of why I haven't uploaded too many videos recently. Anyway, so I'm gonna do my Road to National series. It's not gonna be very long. Probably this one, and probably one when the new ban list comes out. And the reason that is because this year I figured I'd talk about what cards you should probably be trying to pick up at Nationals. I'm not saying like, oh, these are the only cards you should be getting, because they're going to be meta. Like, they're going to potentially be meta. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't get the cards you're actually wanting. If you need cards for your deck, obviously get those. If you're wanting to build a deck, get those cards. But if you're kind of satisfied on where you are, these are probably cheap cards that there's always the gamble in this game, but these are some cards that are more looking like they're about to go up in price for this next format once Duelist Alliance comes out. And so yeah, so these are just a few cards. Probably also gonna say a few more things on cards you should potentially be trying to pick up. But for now, this is probably what you should kind of be looking at. So the first things I'm going to be talking about are cards for, you've probably heard about the deck. You've most likely heard about the deck. Shaddolls. Like it or not, they're coming. They're coming to the TCG, so might as well get prepared. So here are some low-end cards right now that have the potential, that you can probably pick up cheap right now, that have the potential to jump up in price because they're commonplace cards in these decks, at least in the OCG. I'll show the ones I have. I'm missing one. So we're going to start off with Dark Creator. This is a card that's kind of been around a long time and sees play every once in a while. Just because it has the potential to be really powerful. I mean, anything that special summons from the graveyard, as we've seen through the years, anything that really special summons from the graveyard has a really good chance of being a very powerful card. Now, not every card lived up to that potential, and this is one of them. But Shaddolls love filling their grave up with dark monsters, so that makes this card live, and it can special back a Midrash, or it can special summon back like a beast or something, and then you can fuse it with the light in order to get out Nephilim and draw and dump and just go off and create a big board. it allows you to do that kind of play. Will every Shaddoll deck be running this? I don't know. I've heard a lot of hype about this card. I've been testing it in Shaddolls, and it is a very powerful card. So currently, it doesn't go for very much right now. It's like this version of it, the super rare, it's about a $2 card. So it's something that you can pick up that has the potential of going up in price. Next is Kai's the Shadowmar. Now this has been reprinted several times, and you can probably find cheap versions of it, but the real cheap version of it right now is the original. You can get the original for about $5, I believe, right now. So it may be in your interest to get this. This is a very popular card in Shaddolls because of the meta definement that Shaddolls are. So getting the original of a card or a high rarity version like the Ultimate from the Turbo Packs, I believe it was Turbo Packs that made it come in Ultimate. Anyway, if you get that, you're looking at a very high-end, very quickly high-end card potentially. Also, I want to make something clear. I'm not showing these off in order to try to hype them up in order to trade them away. One, I don't have that kind of influence, and two, most of these cards are in my don't trade these cards collection, or are in deck boxes for Shaddolls that I'm thinking about building it, if I want to. Next is Armageddon Knight. This is a card, you can probably get these actually go for about $5 right now. So decent price. But they have, once again, potential to go up because this is a card that a lot of people either use this or Curry Bandit right now in the OCG. They'll probably switch to Mathematician if they were using Armageddon Knight in OCG, because Armageddon Knight's getting limited in OCG. But this is a card that usually gets bounced around between this or Curry Bandit in OCG. And the reason this is fairly good is because it's controlled. It gets you exactly what you need and doesn't run the risk of dumping multiple things and then you can't use any of their effects because you've already used their effects once. This is a lot more controlled and allows you to set up plays and puts a 1400 body on board, and it's a dark for things like Dark Creator. I guess Curry Bandit is too. And Curry Bandit probably fills up the grate faster for Dark Creator. But I mean, this is just a 1400 monster that you can just summon and get controlled milling out of in Shaddolls. Next is Rainbow Karibo. We've all heard about this card. This is the card that Jeff Jones originally hyped up to $20. And it currently goes for about $6 or $7. These are really good in Shaddol because there are light monsters that work in the graveyard. Things like AD Changer also work, but that's a common. This is a secret rare, so this has a lot more potential to kind of jump up in the price. This thing also, it won't lose any of its value if you do get Electromagnetic Turtle, because Turtle can only be used once per duel. This just is still useful, so because you're gonna need multiple lights for Shaddol. Next we have Arcane Magician. Currently about a $10 card, but it requires spellcasters. Guess what Shaddol are? They're spellcasters. So you just summon this, pop multiple things, it becomes like a Synchro Dark Arm up to twice, without having to use Dark Armed. OCG uses the Dark Arm because one, they have 2 Dark Arms, so they can draw a little bit more easily, and they have a lot more grave manipulation because they have Monster Reborn, they have Pot of Avarice. Yeah, they have Monster Reborn and Pot of Avarice, that's about all you need. So that they can control the graveyard, but they also still use this because, hey, your Falcon's a tuner, and all of your monsters are spellcasters. So you just create this and pop 2 cards, and it's a light too. So after you pop 2 cards, you can fuse it away for Nephilim. And finally, Vulcan the Divine. It's about a $20 card, I believe, $25 card right now. So yeah, it's expensive, but doesn't hurt. It actually is very good in Shaddolls. So yeah. Another card that for Shaddolls I don't have that you should probably be kind of looking at is Cephalon the Time Lord. It kind of in OCG kind of gets this and Cephalon get kind of bounced around a lot between decks. They kind of do very similar things of just being able to create big boards and then OTKing. So now in Cephalon again isn't that much right now. I haven't looked up Cephalon, but yeah. For side deck kind of cards, we're going to be getting Satellar Knight, and we are going to be getting Lightsworn soon. In fact, this week we're getting Lightsworn. So I mean, this is a card that's already seen play in some side decks, not all, but probably hopes to get some more. And that's Allied Justice Cycle Reader. Just makes it hard for light decks that utilize their graveyard to make their plays. And then for Satellar Knight, you're probably also gonna be want to get a Mind Control. Star Seraph Satellar Knight is the second. This last one was the second best deck in the OCG behind Shaddol. Well, that makes this really popular because they're all level 4s. So as a kind of tech card or side deck card for the mirror match, you just take their Satellar and like if they go first turn summon the Stratos, you can do your own summon Stratos, mind control their Stratos, and then you got a rank 4, and you took away their thing on the board, which also makes it so that their Stratos thing isn't in the graveyard too. So they're not going to be able to summon it back next turn with the one that summons from the graveyard and get another search and Nixies. So, I mean, it just creates plays. So, Mind Control is kind of a card that's dropped off since Synchro format, but could potentially see play again. Other things that you should potentially be trying to pick up is, this is if your deck is one of the top decks. What you should be trying to do is, if your deck is one of the top decks, you don't have to trade away your top deck either, just in case. But one thing that you could potentially try to do is, I've got all wind-ups, or not all, I don't have the entire wind-up deck, but I've got pretty much the entire main deck, including all the monsters that I'm going to need if I need them, as well as factories, a few of the Ixies. Now you don't want, not necessarily you're picking up wind-ups specifically, but if your deck's a top deck, if you can get a near complete skeleton of a deck for cheap, do it, because then if your deck gets hit, you're not having to quickly rebuild a whole different deck. You've got all the pieces that you need. Another deck that's just like that, that's fairly cheap right now, that has the potential of being fairly good, is things like Fire Kings and Scraps, because the weekend of Nationals, guess what's coming out? The new starter deck, which includes the brand new supply unit. I'm sure most of you have heard of supply unit, which really helps out decks like Fire Kings and Scraps, which are very good at popping their own cards, which allow you to draw more cards. So they're very cheap right now. I think the only expensive card in Scraps is Scrap Twin, which I think is a $10 card, and Scrap Orthros, which is a $20 card. Orthros, you only need one, and scrap tune, you can get away with one, maybe two. In fact, two is the max you need. So I mean, those are the expensive cards, but like Beast goes for like 5. Not Beast, Chimera goes for like 5. Scrap Storm goes for like 3. Scrap Storm goes for like 2. So yeah, you can just kind of pick up scraps. A lot of the things are common. So yeah, these are just kind of things that you're probably gonna want to be trying to pick up if you're not looking for something in particular, because they're potential trade bait in the near future. So yeah, I might have one more video this before Nationals, maybe more, but most likely only one. That's going to be when the new ban list comes out. I'll be talking about my thoughts on that and how this affects kind of cards that you pick up. So yeah, until next time, TeamEDM, and we're out. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment, please.